Hello, thank you for clicking on the video. My name's Steve and this is Everyman Fragrances. Today I want to talk to you about a perfectly viable cheapie actually. It's maybe not for everybody, but you know what, don't write it off. I'm talking about Jimmy Choo Urban Hero Gold Edition. And you know what, I get it. I get the fact that this fragrance, the name, the bottle, the look, everything about it screams fuckboy that bought a fragrance out of a bargain bin from a drugstore. I get that, but listen, don't write this fragrance off because it's a really interesting kind of, well, it's the notes that intrigued me. It's the notes I thought, wow, they're really interesting. So I just took a punt on it, it's cheap enough, blind bought it. And you know what, I'm really pleasantly surprised. It's actually right up my street. So I guess that means I'm a fuckboy. So the notes of this fragrance are blood orange and pineapple in the top, and then there's lavender and tonka in the mid, and then oak moss and sandalwood in the base. Now it's those opening notes that actually intrigued me when I saw them, because I love mandarin, orange and blood orange kind of accords, so that really sort of intrigued me. And then despite the fucking obvious, there's not that many fragrances that have got pineapple in them. So I really sort of fancy trying one that wasn't a Ventus or a clone thereof, just to see, you know, what they've done with it, if it's quite synthetic or if it kind of works or whatever. And then I liked the idea that it had tonka in the mid, so I thought, oh, it's probably kind of like maybe sweeten it up a little bit. And then the sandalwood base, I thought, oh, and then it perhaps maybe goes a little bit woody. So I was expecting a kind of sort of fruity, sweet, woody kind of scent that could be manly, but has the risk of potentially being a little bit juvenile. And you know what? I kind of got exactly what I was expecting. And I sprayed this on, and it's... And look, it doesn't smell of high quality, obviously, but I really quite like it. It's kind of up my street. If you want a sort of fun fragrance that you could sort of wear weekends, evenings, that's not, you know, that just smells really nice, mate, like, I think it could really work. Don't write this off. They'll probably let you smell this if you go into like a fragrance shop or whatever, like a, you know, a designer fragrance shop. So just give it a whiff and then like kind of let it dry down, because the opening is really interesting. It's kind of got this, the pineapple and the blood orange kind of works. It's kind of got a fruity opening that's not too synthetic actually. It doesn't sort of smell particularly high, like, you know, very high quality. It's not a niche fragrance, good Lord no. But it does smell kind of quite nice and fruity, but not too like sickeningly sweet sort of fruity or synthetic fruity. It's sort of just quite nice. And then as it starts drying down, the tonka come through and it starts sweetening up a bit. And it does kind of get a little bit sweeter the longer it's on, but it never gets, to me, too sweet. Now I do like sweet fragrances, so bear that in mind. So your tolerance to sweetness in a fragrance was probably going to be quite a bit different to mine potentially. But and then as the sandalwood kind of comes through and the lavender, it sort of balances it out. I nearly sort of said it makes it a bit more sophisticated, but that's a stretch. But it doesn't do that, but it does balance it out. So I think that yes, younger people could wear this, but I think somebody that's in their 20s or 30s like myself, well, I'm 40 now, fuck's sakes, I think you could wear this. Because to me, as I say, my tolerance to sweetness might be a lot higher than some, so perhaps, you know, I'm not as sensitive to it or whatever. But it doesn't ever come across as too sweet or too synthetically sweet or too sickeningly sweet either. I just think it's got a really kind of, just really pleasant opening, and then it just gets a little bit sweeter and a little bit more woody as it dries down. So it kind of, I guess it's a little bit akin to sort of Scandal by Jean-Paul Gaultier, but it never gets as sweet as that. That does get sort of really quite sweet, sort of bordering gourmand with that sort of caramel kind of thing. This doesn't. It definitely is a few notches down from that in my opinion on the sweetness scale. So I've owned this fragrance for quite a while, and even I'm succumbing to the brand snobbery around Jimmy Choo, because I wore it quite a lot when I got it because I really liked it. I was really pleasantly surprised, and then I got a few other fragrances, started wearing them, and I've not really come back to it because I sort of see it on my shelf, looking all gaudy and fuckboyish with that sort of gold sort of Comic Sans writing or whatever. And I think, do I want to smell that? I smell like that. But you know what? When I smell it, I really like it. It's like the fragrance is better than the bottle and the name suggests. That's what I would say. I'm not saying this is a a game changer, or it's definitely not anything near niche quality. But as designer fragrances go, this is just really nice. If you follow my channel for a while and you've got a similar sort of taste to me, then by all means kind of check this out for a cheapie, because it's really all right. It's got like a really pleasant fruity opening. It gets a little bit sweeter, but to me personally, it doesn't get to go too sweet. And then it gets a little bit woody in the dry down. So it's just one of those fragrances that I just think is really quite pleasant to wear. And my son likes it. My wife, I think she's commented actually. I did. My son, he quite likes sweet fragrances, so he's said a couple of times about this. But I did get a compliment off the wife once on this as well, which surprised me, I must say. So I think this is all right. I'd say sort of give it a sniff for a cheapie, and potentially a blind buy if you fancy it. Not surprisingly, performance isn't going to win any awards, but it's not awful actually. I've found the longevity sort of just quite average. I kind of get sort of 4 or 5 hours quite comfortably. After that, I could still smell it on my skin, but it's just quite sort of like a faint shower gel type sort of thing after that. Really, it's not particularly that strong. But projection's quite good, so I could easily smell this for the first hour to hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours. It's sort of quite noticeable because it's got like a little bit of kind of oomph to it. So yeah, the projection was sort of quite good. It's just the longevity is not brilliant, but yeah, I think that for the price, I was quite happy with the performance on the whole, to be honest. So there you go, a cheapie designer fragrance for you to try. This is the sort of fragrance that I started with this channel, to be honest. So it's kind of nice to get back to my roots actually, and I do dabble a little bit, but yeah, I'm always going to be a basic bitch till I die. Let's be honest. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you've smelt this fragrance, do comment down below and let me know what you think to it. And have you tried any other of the Jimmy Choo fragrances? There was that blue one they did, which was quite nice, but I remember it was just so generic that I just didn't even bother keeping it. That was very dull. But yeah, other than that, not really tried many. So yeah, do comment down below, let me know if any other Jimmy Choo fragrances are worth a look. Thank you for watching, do really appreciate it, and I'll see you for a video soon. Take care, much love.